take my chances with that. Because when I start thinking about the draft, I can't start thinking about the draft already. But isn't it kind of amazing that we were kind of at a similar spot last year, too? You know what I mean?
Similar.
This is 2 straight years where you're under 500 later in the season and you need a rally to make the playoffs.
Were they 2 games under 500?
Yeah, I think when they lost to New Orleans, they were
when
2
they
games
lost to
under,
the Saints.
and they got blown out in that game.
They did get blown out.
You're thinking like, oh man, how are we going to rebound from this? And somehow they did it. Now I know it was under a different quarterback,
but also guys got healthier.
Yeah, they did.
Right,
but they were healthy yesterday or 2 days ago.
That's the difference.
This is as healthy as they've been.
So I don't know what people are really looking for right now. The team is healthy, and are you waiting for Deshaun Jackson to get
He's not coming back
in order to get some sort of glimpse of what it looked like week 1?
I really don't think we're going to see him even if they make the playoffs.
Here's the thing.
Okay?
On a Tuesday before a must-win Monday night, think about it. And I'm not asking, is there any buzz or juice? None of that stuff. I'm just saying, look, it's a Tuesday going into as much of if you want this season to be alive, which I think most of us do, you have to beat the Giants. Beatable team Monday night. Yeah. But it's Monday night. There's a lot going on with this game.
It's a home game.
I don't even know how to approach this game. I don't know.
I'm not over the last game.
Me neither. That's my point, is that this whole season has been grueling.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, unlike the grueling season we experienced, the 2 seasons we experienced, year 2 and year 3 of Chip Kelly, I don't feel like there is a total removal of, I don't want to stop watching the sport. When I watched Chip Kelly coach football, I wanted to stop watching the NFL.
Yeah, I know. I grew to hate it. I grew to hate the team.
It's crazy, isn't it?
About it.
Now, I don't feel that way about this team.
No.
And I want to go back and start liking them again, and maybe we can start talking about the L word, the love word. But, man, I feel like this year has been a chore. And I don't know if they deserve the rah-rah, the typical rah-rah that you would get to try to turn the page from a loss and make something positive heading into this week. Not yet. Not on Tuesday.
No, I can't come up with that right now. I'm still smarting from the loss on Sunday, and I'm trying to figure out what the coach said yesterday when he appeared on a radio station. And then it became, his press conference thereafter. There was a lot of questions about it, and rightly so. These writers, pounced on it.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what the actual verbiage was.
Yeah, I do. I mean, he said that the other team wanted it more than his team.
I thought you were saying, you don't know what he said.
No, I mean, that's the head coach is saying that. That's not somebody on the radio saying, hey, based on watching that game, it looked like the Dolphins were playing harder and they wanted to win the game more.
Who else said
that's the head coach.
Brandon Brooks. Oh, not Brandon Brooks. Pardon me. Brandon Graham.
Yeah, right. He's echoed the same thing. Right.
Correct. So you've got leader on the field, you've got leader in the locker room.
Yeah.
And CEO of organization, head coach saying, we didn't want it.
Yeah, a 2-9 team.
We didn't want it.
That is going. The only place they're going is towards the top of the draft.
Correct.
They got a 37-year-old quarterback who's having the time of his life. But he's been a journeyman. They got really nothing going on, yet they wanted the game more than the Eagles. That tells me there's something wrong here.
Yeah,
okay? I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong.
Is it something that you can revive with a ski mask like last year or a dog mask like 2 years ago? I mean, aren't we past...
We always need a mask,
something, right? Now, what's the latest? What mask could we adopt to be the signal, or really the symbol, pardon me, of, I was going to say the signal to turn things around, but the symbol of an underdog season again? They've already used the dog mask. They've already used the ski. I still have one of those ski masks.
Oh, you got one of those?
One of those shirts. I wore it on Fox 29 one day. So I still have one of those ski mask seasons shirts. I wonder, what's the next? Would it be a bandit? Would it be some sort of bandana, like a Dillinger, Billy the Kid type thing? Would it be a mask, maybe like Point Break?
Yeah,
wearing the
those were the dead presidents,
absolutely,
right? Or whatever. Nixon masks.
Ronald Reagan. Yeah, exactly right. Now, do you remember who wore the Reagan mask?
No, I don't. I have no idea.
Come on.
No.
You don't have that level of identification?
No.
I'd ask maybe if one of the guys coming up next would, but, Mosher doesn't return texts. Gil's too worried about talking about party stuff.
Wait a second. Mosher doesn't return texts?
Well, I was group texting you
I
guys.
text with him all the time.
I know. I was I was trying to get something on the group text. I was sending all these GIFs.
Yeah, but you send nonsense.
What do you mean nonsense? I was asking. These were programming questions. I was asking.
Yeah, and nobody was answering them.
I
and
know.
then you start sending these stupid gifts, and then I get annoyed.
Well, I was sending them because I don't understand why I can't get a response. You know, I'm out here looking for responses, man. 609-403-0973. That's it.
But that's really concerning to me. That you've got the head coach and you've got a key player, a key veteran player echoing the same thing, that the other team who's going nowhere wanted to win the game more than you did.
And a game in a situation where, and I think that's the biggest thing in the backdrop for me, is that this comes off of Thanksgiving. You already had in front of you a blueprint. Hey, Dallas
lost.
Yeah. That should have been motivating you even more.
Right.
But here's it's not even the contrary. I think here's the explanation. Is that, and it's not a good one. It's not a comforting one. It's not one that should make you feel better about your stance. But the reality is that people are still taking these teams, and the Jets did it with Cincinnati as well, although they weren't nearly as heavy of a favorite, that they walked in and thinking, all right, well, we can beat these guys alone on talent.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't hold into account what's been going right and wrong over the last 2 weeks. You lost 2 straight football games going into that Miami Dolphins game. You're not good enough to just come in there and beat anybody off of talent, in air quotes.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Now, did I think they were going to lose that game? No. I didn't think there was any way that they could lose the game. I wasn't going to lay 10.5 points with them, but I didn't think they could go down there and lose either. Because I thought, especially the way the game turned out, where you got the big lead,
right?
I just thought Miami would just sort of, here's another loss.
One of you guys,
they didn't.
It was either you or Hunter at Bury the Hatchet, or maybe it was you and Josh. Because it must have been at Bury the Hatchet, because we were off on Thursday and Friday.
Right, it was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday. I think it was you and Hunter live on location. Remember when I said, if this thing gets to 10, I'm going to pound the Dolphins.
Right.
And you guys are making fun of me because you were like, well, you already took the Eagles. And I was like, yeah, because I locked the Eagles in at -7.5.
Right.
But I thought that it was...
You were trying to middle it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I was expecting Philadelphians to bet that thing like you know what over the top, which they did. But at 10, it was just too much. You're right. But at no point could I ever take credit and say that I would predict them to win the game, like anybody who says, no, the Dolphins are going to cover that line. But nobody had them winning this football game.
I mean, you had thousands upon thousands of Eagles fans going down there for a road trip, a great road trip to nice weather, a nice town. That you can have a lot of fun in, and then you go to the game and the whole thing just comes unraveled in the fourth quarter, and you're like, we're losing to the Dolphins.
It stinks.
How is this happening?
Oh my goodness. It was really, what was that moment for you? Was it the fourth quarter or was it the missed kick? I think
it was the missed kick is when I think that's when I went upstairs and I told my wife, I said, they're losing this football game. They're going to lose. We're winning by 2 touchdowns. I said, they're still winning, but they're going to lose. I know it.
Oh my goodness.
It was just like, it was like the field was tilted.
Yep. It really is.
You know what I mean?
It felt like that. You're right. It felt like everything the Eagles were doing was uphill. And everything Ryan Fitzpatrick was able to do was just, I don't know, man. It was a cruise central right there. And I don't know why all of a sudden the Giants game is they can win out.
Sure.
They could win 3 of 4. They probably should win 2 of 4. But what game is, why would anything be easy for this football team?
No,
Even against the Jets and the Bears.
You watch all the games on Sunday.
Yeah.
You were watching some of the Redskins probably on the Red Zone.
Yeah.
They're competing. They're trying to win. I mean, they're going to play the Eagles in a couple of weeks, and they're going to try to win the game.
Absolutely.
So are the Giants.
They coached Haskins on a look with the Panthers. They weren't asked. They did not say the season's over, drop back and throw the ball 50 times.
Right.
Like they were relying a lot on the run game. It seemed like they were working with Haskins to where it was like in the start of a season, where you didn't want to rush him into stuff. Not where if the season is all to your point, if all is lost at that point, then maybe you're just trying to open it up and see what you have. You throw to the rookie receiver. But no, they are coaching and playing to win football games. Theoretically, can't they, if they win out, win the division at 7-9? I think they can.
They need a lot of help.
No, I don't. Look, if they win out, that means a win over the Eagles, and I believe it means at least one win over the Cowboys, right?
I gotta check.
If the Skins, they're 3-9 right now. If the Skins were to win out, I wonder if they could win the division at 7-9.
Wow, it's a 7-9 division. You shouldn't even get to the playoffs. To me, you don't deserve it. Seriously. Be 500 or above, please. I know it's happened, but it's awful when it happens. Let me check this schedule here. They've got Green Bay on the road this week. Then they got the Eagles at home. Then they got the Giants at home, and then at Dallas in Week 17.
Yep, I'm telling you.
Well, they're not going to win it, though. They're going to play hard. That I can guarantee, but they're not going to win it.
Are the Eagles not closer to the Skins? Let me ask you a question, and then I have something about what's happening with food. There's a major crisis that we're about to experience.
There's a food crisis?
Yeah.
Heading into the holiday?
There is, yes. Are the Eagles closer to the LA Rams or the Washington Redskins? You're thinking about this question.
No, when you say the Rams, I mean the Rams are a team that is underachieved.
Absolutely,
but they found a way to win a game last week on the road.
They wanted that more.
Right, they did. Yeah, they did.
Without a doubt,
they showed desire.
Yes,
because I know that Cardinal team competes.
They
too.
do. Yes,
they don't have a whole lot of.
No, this kid Charlie Kirk, or is it what's his name? Kirk.
Christian Kirk. Yeah, he's from Texas A&M.
He can play.
He's a weapon. Yeah.
But that's the point, is that I don't know. I don't know. The answer to the question for Eitan Shander is I don't know.
I would have to think the Rams.
You do?
Yeah.
Has that offense shown you anything like that? Buffalo is maybe the only time they've shown you that. Even the Jets game, you saw the defense play.
A little bit against the Packers, too, right?
They kept up with Rodgers and the Packers. But I still think that we're short an explosive game like that. Maybe the Skins would be the closest one, but again, not a.
Well, that was right. With Deshaun, though. That's the element that they miss.
Have you? Okay, I guess my point is, and I didn't express it right, or at least clear enough. Have you gotten a complete game like you did from the Rams over the Cardinals once this year from the Eagles? My educated guess would be no.
No, I'd say no. I didn't even watch the Rams and the Cardinals, but. If you're saying it was a complete
box score will
in all three phases,
that thing was over from the jump.
Okay, but no, we haven't gotten that. No.
And don't you think you would need at least one of those games to go on a 4-game win? I don't care who your opponent is. If you're taking on the 4 worst teams in the NFL for 4 straight weeks, it doesn't matter. This past weekend shows you it doesn't matter.
No, and this past week we finally got a couple of short fields, based on. The defense making a turnover right out of the gate. Then Miami had the onside kick to start the second half, and you got a short field there.
Right.
But it just goes to show you the mentality of that team. They're like, what do we got to lose?
Nothing.
Like, we're going to run trick plays. We're going to go for it on 4th down, which they made a couple of 4th downs against the Eagles. We're going to go onside kick. Who cares? Like, we're going to do whatever we can to try to win a football game.
Yep. And the Eagles did not.
Yeah.
What's the and again, we talked about this on Monday, there's just lack of creativity when it comes to plays. It's strange. It really is strange that you don't get much of that at all. I'm going to read you a tweet here, 609-403-0973, at Shander Show, mind you, at Harry Mays is how you get us on Twitter. I did put a tweet out that has to do with a possible shortage. Now, I'm going to get to that coming up. But
a food shortage.
Correct. So before we even get to the text board, our buddy at FPT Center, good listener and tweeter, he's contrary to where we stand on the season. But at least he explains it, and we appreciate it.
Does he want the draft? Is he already focused on the draft?
Nope. And I don't agree with the tweet, but I appreciate the fact that it's not just let's tank to get a high draft pick. There's actually some reason or reasoning maybe behind it. Quote, I want them to lose out. This team is still living in 41 to 33 land and need to have their noses rubbed in this horse bleep season to make real changes.
Wow. Okay, I get that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would rather have Carson Wentz throw a football in a playoff game, something he has yet to do, than not. Like, I'd rather that be the case than not. However, I get that this season, like, I feel like, all right, let me put this scenario out here because I'm going to lead with it and say even still. If the Eagles win 4 straight and host a playoff game that they lose, don't you still think at the very least offensive coordinator Mike Rowe is gone?
I would think so, yes.
So we're even at this point, to the tweeters' demand, and I understand it due to the frustration, I think we're already at that point where at least one guy has an X on his back and says it's inevitable and you're gone at the end of the year.
Well, yeah, I mean, the media was trying to get that out of Doug yesterday as to whether that's happening now. You know, that scalp might come now,
Right.
as opposed to waiting until the end of the season.
Now, I saw you all scalp happy on Twitter responding to our own John McMullen.
Yes.
You're bullying Gill on Twitter. You're bullying McMullen.
I don't bully anybody.
Rothstein?
What, because I respond, I'm a bully?
Yeah, well, you come at people. I don't know if they're used to your type of tone.
What is my tone?
Your tone is dismissive. All right? Your tone... I saw that tweet to John McMullen. John didn't deserve that.
No?
You just booted John's thoughts right out of your timeline. That's what you do on Twitter.
He agreed with me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, it was just, you forced him. I think you
think so?
It was the equivalent of you or others on Twitter adding Ben Simmons saying, when are you going to shoot, when are you going to shoot, when are you going to shoot? And then finally he shoots and you take credit for him shooting.
Oh, yeah.
You just took credit for John McMullen responding in a positive way to you.
No, but I was on the Working the Beat podcast last night. With our buddies Kevin Cooney and Mike Hearn.
Oh, nice.
Okay, they do a podcast called Working the Beat.
And you got invited to this?
I got invited late yesterday afternoon, and I said, yeah, I'd be happy to do it.
Before you even go on, you said you got invited late afternoon.
When I got home, I got a DM.
So
from Cooney.
What time did you guys record?
Like I want to say 4:20, 4:25.
And what time did you get the message?
About an hour before that.
Do you think you were a late?
Probably. Somebody probably canceled. Yeah, I wasn't at the top of their list. Of course not. I realized that.
I caught it.
This is an unpaid appearance. I got the whole thing.
I wasn't saying that you deserve to be paid. It's just hilarious to me because you were like, I got this thing late afternoon. I'm like, wait a second, late afternoon? How long was it before you got that notice? So yeah, okay, maybe John Clark canceled.
Probably. Somebody probably canceled.
That's fine.
But anyway, I went on, we had a lot of fun, and that was one of the things that came up was winning out, getting to the playoffs. Does it put sort of lipstick on the pig, so to speak, where then the organization thinks that, hey, we're not that far away. Things are good.
Yeah.
Things are okay. We just experienced a valley during the season, and we picked it up, and everything's fine. We made the playoffs. Or do they recognize those warts that they say, hey, barring whether we make the playoffs or not, changes have to be made. We have to bring other people in here, other coaches, other eyes to help work with this quarterback because he is the real asset that we have to, surround going forward.
I still think we're at this point where the team realizes, here's what I'll say, even if they don't truly want to, and they look at the 4-game win streak and say, wow, and we've got somebody on the Periscope, at Harry Mays to you, Christopher Fratz, updated us on the skin situation. But I think it's still going to be, the 4-game win streak aside, they've seen this honeymoon end. Howie Roseman, Doug Peterson. Doug's on a morning show every week. Howie Roseman, we know Howie Roseman's in tune with the fan base, the media, as much crap as people want to give Howie Roseman. There are plenty of general managers in professional sports, Harry, that have their heads in the cloud and have no idea what fans are saying, even if it's negative or positive about them.
But he's got a lot of pride, and so does Doug.
No, I get that.
Does he have the wherewithal and the self-scouting to sit here and say, you know what? I really am good at cap stuff and contracts. That's my specialty. I'd love to be the personnel guy and pick the players too, but I recognize I've had some bad runs, and I need to really bring another guy in here to help me again.
On one hand, you've got 3 straight years where you've made the playoffs, one of them being a Super Bowl win.
Mm-hmm. Which might have been lightning in a bottle.
Well, on the other hand, though, 3 straight years you've had to patch something together just to make it to the playoffs. Last year, you won a home playoff game.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's against a Bears team who has regressed. I think you are at a crossroads at that point where if you win 4 straight and you make it to the playoffs aside, I think you just have to look at where you are. What's the self-scout at the end of the regular season if, in fact, you do win 4 straight and make it to the playoffs? I think at that point, before you even roll the dice and see what you can do in the playoffs, you have to, at the very least, acknowledge, Harry, I think means make one decision, that piecing this stuff together is not sustainable. And at the very least, or maybe even best case scenario, you're just taking advantage of mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
You really are taking advantage of mediocrity.
Well, winning the NFC East is taking advantage of mediocrity.
Even less than mediocrity.
It should prevent you from making changes.
Correct.
Just saying, hey, we're the best in this division. Who cares? Like, you got to go chase the Niners. You got to go chase the Saints.
Redskins win out, Cowboys lose out, Eagles lose out, they win the division.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's, the end of the world might come too.
Watch out. Watch out.
No. All right, Eitan, you know that so many of the great Philadelphia sports fans, football fans, have joined us and our home team. I'm talking about Parks Casino and Sportsbook. Parks has you covered for sports betting online with the fabulous Sportsbook app. I rolled that app out last night during that Seahawks game. I in-gamed the Seahawks on the money line. I got plus money, and I took them plus 3.5 during the game.
Seahawks?
For 2 nice winners.
Well, I got my ass kicked in the NFL game, but my NBAs, hopefully you were listening.
Oh, yeah? NBA?
Hornets under Team Charlotte gave up that game instantly, and the Bulls snap a 3-game losing streak.
Oh, my God.
Late night in Sacramento, that 2-game parlay on top of Minnesota in college. Thank you, Parks Casino.
Yes, you can do that all on the app, or you can go out to the fabulous Sportsbook right there in Bensalem. And this company's not based overseas or out of town. They're right here in the Delaware Valley. Now, we got big action this weekend. The Birds looking to bounce back from 3 ugly losses. And they're an 8.5-point favorite last I checked at home against the Giants. You also got Dallas playing this Thursday night. They're favored by 3.5 at Chicago. You got big championship weekend in college football this weekend, starting Friday night, Pac-12 championship. Utah favored by 6, 6.5, 7 over Oregon. There's so much action this weekend. You got to download the app in the App Store. Go to parkscasino.com/PA. Use our promo code SWEEP, SWEEP, and you're going to get up to a $500 risk-free bet. Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to the Maze and Aton Show, presented by Dry Guys of South Jersey. Go to dryguysonair.com and get the help you need with your wet basement. dryguysonair.com.
South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia Flyers hockey is 97.3 ESPN. Listen as Tim Saunders and Steve Coates call all the action tonight.
The Flyers host the Toronto Maple Leafs. Coverage begins at 7 p.m.
Listen to Philadelphia Flyers hockey, brought to you by Gentilini Motors. 500 John Penn Boulevard.
It's hotter than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Well, they got Florida State on the money line.
Same old. Looking for an exciting new experience? Come join our friends at Bury the Hatchet. Take part in one of the fastest growing sports in the nation, axe throwing. Feel the thrill of axe throwing and compete against your friends and family in one of our 14 BYOB indoor facilities. Our axe masters will teach everyone how to stick it and keep your party moving with a variety of games like you've never experienced before. Birthday, bachelor, bachelorette party, corporate event, or just want a great time out with your friends. Bury the Hatchet will give you a night you'll never forget. Winter leagues are forming now, as well as our special Maze and Aton League for all you listeners. Bury the Hatchet is the East Coast premier axe throwing company with locations right in
They crushed that thing that I got last night on
Salem, Horsham, and King of Prussia.
Dario and Kelly Oubre. They gave Oubre points, rebounds, and assists. Sharp points.
Go to burythehatchet.com. Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse is located on the second
Took the
floor of
Nuggets tonight against the Lakers, first half money line.
Part of Philadelphia, near Rittenhouse. At Davio's, it's all about the guest. Davio's offers private dining rooms available for large and small groups, gracious hospitality, and an attendant dining room.
Back to back for the Lakers in Denver.
At Davio's, it's all about the guest. Join us for a power lunch, happy hour, or Sunday brunch. At Davio's, it's all about the guest.
IsanTimeMassage.com.
See somebody yesterday
Deep tissue massage.
goes,
Deeper layers of muscles.
we need more hockey discussion on the Mays and Eitan show. I go, no, we don't. On it, and I put at Jason Merck on it on the tag. So all these people are coming at me. It's so funny. I can tweet Flyer fans just like that, right? And Penn State fans too. When I put out my poll and I don't have Penn State high enough, I'm kind
Is it right? You
Penn
get,
State
like,
fans tweeting in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Here they come. What do you got Penn State 12? Everything 11. It's like, okay, well, does it matter? They're not in the top 8. Well, so what does it really matter?
Exactly.
Like whether they're 12th or 11th.
You didn't put them 10th.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's a.
I need an explanation. That's one guy.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I need an explanation.
It's great.
People are fucking insane.
I know.
Of 23 years are always part of the team. Look for fair terms. DSP asks for no more money down than the law allows in this
Florida
area.
State is plus 100. That's it on the money line.
Usually not the highest.
What game are you talking about?
Florida State, Indiana.
Basketball?
Yeah. Look at this. Florida State's plus 7.5. The juice on that is minus 350. Laying 7.5 points. I actually, by the way, I use this one now.
Yeah.
But I moved away from a couple. This one. This one has all the guys that this actually has, even if it's only by like 2 to 3 cents, I'm getting it consistently. The only problem is that these guys, I can't even do a teaser on them.
Oh, really?
They don't offer teasers.
Wow.
So I called them up and I was like, hey, I can't find a teaser. Like, no, we don't offer teasers yet. So I still use the other one for other stuff. Like futures, for example. I got LSU at 6 when it opened, but I had to get it on another app. I couldn't get it on it that far in advance. They didn't offer.
Right.
So it's very limited, but the juice itself is really good.
That's the trade-off.
Yep.
If you run a business in Pennsylvania,
Why? What's the trade-off for them?
you're familiar with workers' comp insurance. You know Pennsylvania
Track of this stuff too now.
this year. Let Lighthouse Commercial Insurance help you take full advantage of the change. Find years of experience in the market. They know the most reputable and the most aggressive carriers. Give my friend Kevin a call at 800-691-1686. That's 800-691-1686. Or visit them online at lighthouse.ins.biz.
This football season, visit the Great American Pub, where you'll find
Gotta get that
good
food
great
shortage
times, and
thing.
Yeah.
good football. Any way you like it. It all comes together at the Great American Pub. Catch the game at any of the Great American Pub locations in Conshohocken, Wade, and Phoenixville. Go to thegreatamericanpub.com. The Great American Pub.
I came at McMullen.
Yeah, that's great, huh?
Dismissive.
So you think you have unlimited data?
Recalculating.
Think again. If you have unlimited data on your network,
Didn't God get Swayze with a rating man?
and so are you.
I thought so.
For free with the new unlimited
I didn't say anything, but yes, I thought so.
lines with unlimited data on the nation's best 4G LTE network with 100 gigabytes at high speed, then 2G, which is
Man, I'm telling you,
$50 a month per line.
My impressions are
Your destination.
dropping
Unlimited plans.
by the second.
Total
The what?
The impressions.
Oh.
It's. I look at these tweets and
Codes inviting you to donate a slightly worn coat.
it is ridiculous how little.
Need stay warm this winter. Go to Kelsey's Coats Facebook page. Happy holidays.
Meanwhile, this one gets 20.
Mays and Eitan.
Doesn't make any sense.
Mays and Eitan Shander on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
Well, Harry, as you know, we keep it fair, we keep it balanced, we get everything going on here when it comes to the people we like, the people we root for, the people we rip, and sometimes we have to give it up to people we rip. Sometimes we have to hold people we like or have been vocal about liking accountable for stuff. all
Yeah.
right? So coming up, I'm going to get to this food shortage thing right now, but coming up, I have to call somebody to the carpet, and it's not going to be easy. 'Cause
One
I've-
of our own?
No, somebody that I've defended on the show multiple times.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it was not a good night. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
It was not a good night. So, the U.S. right now could be, and is actually looking more and more like they'll face a French fry shortage
What?
after a cold, wet weather that's, what do you call it, a system, damaged a ton of potato crops. So French fries, you feel like French fries is probably one of the most eaten foods in America, right?
No doubt about it.
So if we go through a shortage of French fries, that might cause people to be a little upset.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? You saw what happened with the chicken sandwich stuff at Popeyes,
Right,
right?
people got killed.
Yes, it was absurd.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you roll up to a Burger King or Wendy's and they say, sorry, no fries.
Right.
Or we've only got 3 orders of fries. And someone tweets it out.
Well, they
hey,
have
the
to
Ann
ration
Arbor
the
Township.
fries.
Exactly.
Instead of taking that thing, whatever that little device is,
yes.
the metal device where they shake, they put
No,
the
I think
box.
it's hard plastic so it doesn't heat up, right?
Okay, I guess it is. I never worked there, but like they dip that into the fry
Yeah.
thing and just and they stack in the fries and they give you the for your meal. Well, now they got to go in by hand. They got to put a glove on.
You think so?
And go in by hand and ration out like you get like 7 French fries.
Is that what you get?
In a
7
large.
fries per order? In
Yeah.
a large. Now, what's a small one?
Maybe like 3.
You just get a taste. And
Yeah,
small as you
basically
get to
just a
smell.
nice salty taste.
That's it.
I'm telling you, that would be a problem for me. I eat not so much French fries because I don't go to fast food spots very often, but potato chips. I can inhale probably from dawn till dusk. If you filled this room with bags of Utz potato chips, I might be able to finish them.
Really? Is there a
Yes.
specific flavor?
No, just the regular.
Just the old,
Yeah, the
old
regular,
faithful.
Yeah.
White and red.
Yeah, I don't.
right?
I don't need sour
No,
cream
Utz
and
makes a
onion
great chip.
or anything. It just give me the regular ones.
They make a great chip.
I will house them.
Okay.
Okay.
Not Eddie House.
No.
But you will.
Yeah.
You'll turn it, or House from Police Academy 4. Right?
Well, I was thinking about the Fox show House.
Well,
Wasn't that the doctor?
It
Dr.
is.
House.
I think if you're going to rank the houses, it's Eddie House, it's House from Police Academy 4, and then it's that doctor crap.
Well, and then where would you put House, the pro over at Jeffersonville Golf Club?
Oh,
His nickname's House.
Is
He's
that
a
right?
great guy, yeah.
I haven't been to Jefferson.
Well, that's a nice spot.
Well, maybe House can invite us out there and we'll prop him up a little more on the show.
It's a nice spot.
I think right now he's teetering. He's a little below the doctor show House. But if he ever
Well-
invited us out to the course, we would put him up above the big guy House from Police Academy. I'm surprised.
I don't
you
even remember that.
You don't remember
I
House?
didn't watch any of those dumb movies.
Come on, Josh knows all
Yeah,
about
Josh
that.
knows all that
House,
stuff.
man, from Police. All right, I'll leave it at
Yeah,
that.
anyway.
I actually like the show House better than House from
Thank you.
Well, do you know who I'm talking about? House from Police Academy 4?
The goofy one, right?
He's gigantic. That's why they called him House. I think.
He's a brick house.
Yeah, it was the point of the series where they really, after the third
They
one,
were reaching that.
Citizens
Oh,
on
really?
Patrol,
Do
I
you
think,
think?
was the third one.
Police Academy
Yeah.
4, they were reaching?
And that's where they made all the senior citizens, like they made all the regular people citizens police officers.
Yeah.
That was the third one. And I think after that they really needed to reinvent the series, and some way they did that was to just bring on new
Was
characters.
Gutenberg in this?
I believe Gutenberg wrote that thing to
Yeah,
the
I
end.
can't stand him.
I believe Gutenberg rolled that thing to the
I'm
end.
out on
I'm
him.
telling you, I think you're underrating how good the TV show House was.
Yeah, the TV show was pretty good.
I didn't like that guy.
And it wasn't
Laurie,
about him.
Jeff Laurie?
I think it is. His last name is Laurie, I believe.
Hugh Laurie.
Hugh Laurie, that's it.
He was.
The girl, 13, the character 13.
What do you mean 13? What
Her
is
name
this?
was 13.
What is this, Stranger Things?
She was smoking hot.
Isn't that what the name of the girl is on Stranger Things?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
watch.
Stranger Things, like everything on Netflix, is stealing from everybody else.
Oh, is that right?
The original content on Netflix now is stolen from something else now.
All right, so you're saying 13 was worth watching the show?
Yes.
She was.
Smoke show.
Yes.
She's 13 years
No,
old.
she
you
wasn't
smoke
13
show.
years old.
Jesus.
She wasn't 13
What
years
is wrong
old.
with you guys?
Yeah.
She was more like almost 40 at that point.
Yeah.
Really?
Her name's Olivia Wilde.
Oh, I
You've
know who
heard of her.
Olivia Wilde is.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
She was on that show?
Come on, man.
She was incredible.
Wait a second.
Yes.
You didn't tell me that.
Well, I just did.
I can't stand the snarkiness of that guy. Seemed like an act.
But that's what made it great.
No. Hold on a second. My point of it is not that the guy, like the character. I got that the character was supposed to be snarky. It felt like Hugh Laurie was acting when I watched him be snarky. And maybe that's unfair because I only watched like 2 episodes of it. I couldn't even.
Oh, yeah, you didn't give it a chance.
Yeah, you gotta give it a full season.
2 episodes, a full season. All right, that begs the question. How long? And listen, all right, Josh will watch these 6-hour comic book movies, so he's on the completely opposite end of the spectrum of you,
Right.
where you go like 20 minutes, and I can't believe you're scolding me for aborting after 2 episodes where it'll take you like
Well, I wouldn't watch any
60
of the comic
seconds.
book movies.
Well, hold on a second. My point of it is, how many episodes would you give a show before you bail?
Well, I can tell you. What's the show on? It was Man in the High Castle.
Yep.
Was it
Amazon Prime.
Yes, it was on Amazon. And the storyline of the whole thing, the premise really interested me. Okay, it's like where if we lost World War II,
Right.
like the world would be, or the United States would basically be divided into part Nazi Germany would own half of it, and Japan would have the other half,
Right.
and it was pretty cool. So I gave it a chance, and I watched like 8 episodes.
That's a lot.
It is, and it's really slow. And I'm laboriously going through these final couple of episodes, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I've really tried. I gave it a lot.
What's slow?
8 is your number here.
Well, that was for that show. I gave about 7, 8 episodes, and I bailed.
What was truly slow about it?
Everything, it's really dark. It's always like raining, and it's really slow.
Okay, so
The storyline.
Yes, yes, yes.
okay, I'll give you a show that's slow but masterful because I don't think it's rare, right? But I don't know. That's what I was trying to get some sort of specific about. If there's just no action, if something like that. A lot of times, what happens is if you get the right music behind a slow show, it can almost get you going, even though not much is happening or a lot of build-ups. I don't know if you've ever. I don't think you have. You've never seen The Killing, right?
No.
It started, I think, on AMC and then got picked up. There's 4 seasons, but really the first 2 were. So it's a slower show, but it really moves. It's crazy to say that because it sounds like an oxymoron, but it moves because of the dialogue and it moves because of the music.
Well, yeah, I need dialogue. Like,
Right.
there wasn't enough
So there was
dialogue.
nothing on this?
There wasn't enough dialogue.
What did you get? Just like shots of stuff?
Like cinematography and stuff like that was supposed. I think that was supposed to be part of the hook.
Yeah.
Along with the storyline. Yeah, it was. I was bored.
That
Don't
does-
bore me.
No, that's fine. You don't want to be bored by anything like that. All right, 609-403-0973. We'll hit the text board coming up right here at Harry Mays to you at Shander Show.
Like,
as
what's
well.
the writer and producer that is known for the dialogue? What's his name? He writes a lot of movies, TV shows, and it's fast dialogue where the characters are just constantly in conversation. What's his name? He's very famous.
Not Tarantino.
No.
Good.
No. He wrote Newsroom. I think.
Oh,
it's
Sorkin.
Sorkin.
Yes.
Yeah, Aaron Sorkin.
Aaron
Like
Sorkin.
that kind of stuff, I'm in. You know what I mean? Because the dialogue, like, I can't stop. Like, I can't not pay attention to it or I'm going to lose something.
What else?
I'm in
Okay,
on
so
Sorkin stuff.
gotcha. So you start like West Wing.
I
right?
never
That's-
watched West Wing, but I bet I'd like it.
He's redoing A Few Good Men.
He is?
Yeah, it's
How
a
can
re-
you-
Into a TV.
How can you redo that? You
it's a
don't
TV
redo that movie.
It's a TV movie.
Without
I didn't
appropriating it.
see. I didn't see Moneyball or The Social
Yes,
Network.
I saw both of them.
Did you see Charlie Wilson's War?
Yes, I did.
Is that Tom Hanks?
I believe it was.
That's probably why I didn't see
Yeah.
it. Now these are as writers.
Mhm.
So also you have Sports Night, which is a fantastic.
That was
show.
a great show
That really
way
was.
back in the 90s. In fact, the guy that was in that ended up being in 6 Feet Under, which was a good
Yep.
series that I enjoyed.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that's right.
Forget about the American president.
No, I was looking at some older stuff too, and you go back to Malice, which is a really
fantastic.
very underrated.
Underrated. That's a
I don't-
brilliant.
Yeah, but I don't think people bring it up enough.
No?
Oh, think about like
Almost at all.
what's up?
Doesn't get brought up almost at all.
No, I think for a guy in Alec Baldwin who's turned into a caricature of himself right now.
Yeah, but he was great in that.
That's what I'm saying. That might be his best role ever.
Oh, I mean, the monologue where he talks about God. You
Yeah,
wanna know
I
what
am
God
God.
was? It was
Yeah.
just fantastic.
I'll tell you that, and the quasi cameo that he played in The Departed. His role in The Departed was the best actor on that screen by a mile.
Well, Glengarry
Well,
Glen Ross
I take
too.
it back,
I mean, that's
Wahlberg.
fantastic.
Yeah. Well, that actually had a pretty, not J.R. House, Mike Gill tweeting and shit.
Who?
J.R. House.
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
Don't you need to have some James Roger House,
Okay.
former professional catcher, current third base coach for the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh my God!
Well, way to ruin the bit, Gil.
Wow.
We'll read some tweets coming up. We've got some texts to read as well. 609-403-0973. We're live. The Twitch channel's up and running. The Periscope channel's up and running. And remember, our league is up and running. Go to burythehatchet.com. Burythehatchet.com. And sign up now for our Maze and Aton League. Just use our promo code Harry50 and you'll get half off your first 2 hours. It's easy. Cherry Hill, Tom's River, Philadelphia, Horsham, King of Prussia, Ben Salem. Again, Cherry Hill, Tom's River, really close if you're listening to us right now on 97.3 ESPN. It's a hop, it's a skip, and then you can go throw some axes. Use our promo code Harry50. And again, make sure you sign up right now on the website, burythehatchet.com, for our Maze and Aton League.
Listen to Maze and Aton anywhere. Download the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
Serious, Clark?
97.3ESPN.com/app. Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
I should get a fun jersey or something.
Say what?
No, that McNabb jersey is. There she go.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN. South Jersey sports leader.
Chris Carter from
Yeah, he does the play-by-play.
Rutgers football.
That's Shiano.
That's not a sport.
Yeah, it actually is. The governor got involved.
To bring him back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think people, I guess people listening?
There's a lot of Rutgers alum that listen.
Use promo code SWEEP, 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 to get a risk-free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit. ParksCasino.com/PA, again, PARXCasino.com/PA, and use promo code SWEEP to get your risk-free bet of up to $250. Parks Casino and Sportsbook. My guys and show guys you trust as well. Place all your favorite sports bets, point spreads,
Not
money lines,
Townhouse.
in-game betting.
Ooh, that's
Sign
good.
up and get a risk-free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit. Promo code SWEEP. Get your
Mosher
risk-free
loves
bet of
that
up to
game.
$250.
But not this, not that. Yeah, he loves it.
He won't text me. Screw that. I'm out.
All right, we got to talk about it.
No, I'm out.
Let's talk about it when we come back. You're out.
The care cost estimator from Independence Blue Cross helps you make the choices that are right for you.
But I tell you, man,
Just one more way
screw
of
that.
helping members
The Schwein did the show last night from the Landmark. Did you know that?
No.
Billy Schwein?
caring is helpful.
Why, because Tony's out?
No, because
Independence
Colin
Blue
wasn't
Cross.
there.
Learn more at IBX.com.
He's down in Tampa.
That's so random.
Looking to pick up a few strokes on the
Right?
golf course, you should add these 4 words into your training and lifestyle.
Sorry,
Traditional
count how you
Thai
kick off the show.
massage. A Thai
Yeah.
massage is relaxing and energizing.
I can't believe we did
Designed to increase your flexibility.
Why did we get to do that? Who was doing it? That we took their place.
Call Asan Thai Massage right now. 215-663-9376.
Why did we both for us?
He just ended it on. He ended it on the last day of the regular season. That's why.
So we only did them in January?
We did playoff ones, yeah. Good boy. Yeah, we did playoff ones.
Oh. That's we do like 3 of those?
Yep. I think we did, right? Yeah, I think that's what we did though. That's why.
financial institution. Start with the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union.
No.
In your city. We're also the official credit union of Temple University, and anyone who lives, works, worships, and studies in Philadelphia can open an account. We're member-owned and offer all the services you're looking for, like mobile banking and free ATM withdrawals.
Yeah, I'm switching over here.
Website at pfcu.com.
Todd.
We're not here for our profit, here for yours. Federally insured by NCUA.
What?
Landmark Americana in the heart of Southland for
What do you mean?
a great football experience, a great nightlife experience, or anything you want to experience.
No, I said I'm schwitzing over here. It's hot. I'm sweating.
Presented by Corona and South Jersey's football home. Every Eagles game is hot. Landmark
No.
Americana. You'll know it when you get there, and you'll always remember it when you leave. Go so he gets speak straight. This football season, who knows?
Where's Gil? Is he there?
Using an overpriced trash bag?
He's eating? What's he eating?
Brakes? Or a smelly bag? Time to switch to hefty,
Wow.
ultra-strong trash bags.
I never even heard of J.R. House.
They are best bags yet, and they cost less than Glad Force Flex, where some
Played for the Pirates. He was like the number one recruit in the country. Ended up in baseball and football. He played at Nitro High in
also
West
available
Virginia.
in heavy-duty
Oh
black
my
bags.
God.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Amazing. It's kind of like being showered with cash from above, which would also be pretty amazing. It's so amazing that millions of people a year are getting their cash back matched. They just can't get enough. So whether it's raining down on your head or raining into your bank account, it's your cash back, and Discover is matching it. Discover Cashback Match. What are you waiting for? Learn more at discover.com/match.
This is Joe Krause of Krause's Coats. Donate a slightly worn coat or jacket and help veterans in
Or
need stay
jacket.
warm this winter. Go to Krause's Coats on Facebook and join Martin Law, the law firm for workers, to help those who serve. Have a happy holiday.
This is Mays and Aton with Harry Mays and Aton Shander on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we got Matt Lombardo coming up at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I'm going to ask him is what trick play will the Giants roll out against the Eagles Monday night?
Do they have any?
Well, I mean, they got to have some. I mean, you got to keep this going here. This is 3 straight weeks.
Right.
Well, I mean, we need a trick play 4 weeks in a row. See if the Eagles can finally stop one.
Who's their punter?
I have no idea.
Something out there on something crazy like that, right?
Yeah,
I think that's what you'd have to start with. Something wild.
yeah. Now, we had Jeff Mosher checked in
Oh, yeah?
on the House discussion.
So he's texting you, but he won't text
He
us
texted me
about stuff on our show, even though he won't respond. You know, these guys, they don't bring up anything we talk about. They don't reference anything. And they're doing the name thing wrong anyway.
I know.
Not this guy, Har, and then they keep going. The whole idea is to do what I did and lay out multiple examples for the person who's talking, and then I gave Harry the opportunity to do a hierarchy and look at the different houses. All right? You guys stay on your end, we'll stay on our end.
I don't
all
want
right?
to be just on our end.
No,
I want to be
they-
on both ends.
We don't get, it's a quick little blip. You know, we talked about Rondé Barber dropping an F-bomb for 20 minutes yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And
What does that have to do with
well,
it?
they went on and talking about Barber this and Barber that, never mentioned anything about the F-bomb and the fact that we brought it up.
Oh, jeez.
And now you're getting house texts from Jeff? Screw that.
Jeff was texting me while he was
Screw
on
that.
vacation in Jamaica.
I'm out.
You're out?
I am out, officially out. We'll
All right.
have Lombo on next week.
That's not
What
what happened.
happened?
They did talk about Rodney Barber dropping it, and they did mention that you did first.
Not in the first hour. When did it happen?
I'm sorry, so it has to...
Why would you bring up a topic and not mention it the first time and then bring it back, 2 hours later?
Why not?
That makes no sense. It makes no sense. The biggest thing about Barber that happened yesterday was the F-bomb. Why would you save that for 2 hours later? What?
Wasn't in their opinion that they brought up later...
It makes no sense. There is nothing that Rondé Barber did that was bigger than dropping an F-bomb.
Well, Carson Palmer.
That's part of it,
yeah.
though. That's the whole part of it, is the fact that he drops an F-bomb. How do you not mention that? How do you not lead with that?
He does like zero homework. I'm convinced of it. But speaking
Oh
of,
my God!
speaking
I
of-
don't want our show mentioned. I don't want it
No,
mentioned
no.
anymore. I don't want it. Enough is enough. Like enough.
All right, listen.
Had it.
Your boy, Booger,
The hell
did
is it?
did not have a great night last night.
No, he did not.
Okay,
He
And
mentioned the
the
miracle.
Minneapolis Miracle,
Yeah, it
as
was,
if it was a bad thing,
Mhm.
and people went nuts.
Like it went
and they
against.
should.
Like it went against Minnesota.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, it got them to the next round of the playoffs before we could slay them. But I mean, how does he make that mistake?
Well, that's what I was saying is he needs to be, and rightfully so. I think he was crushed for it.
Yes.
That wasn't as bad as Collinsworth with Dak.
No, because Dak's mom is
Correct.
passed on a while ago.
But you're at least, here's the thing, you're at least putting the turn signal on to start maybe a half a mile out to get off that exit.
Yeah.
Like you can't miss that. You can't mess that one
No,
up.
I agree.
And that, unfortunately, has knocked Booger down a peg for me.
That was a great. Oh, it has.
It was an egregious miss. I am still pro Booger. All right? I am still going to turn on and watch Booger.
See, I can't. I hate it. I hate that broadcast. And it's not Booger that I loathe. It's the other guy.
Joe Tessitore.
The other guy, and I used to love him.
Did you see this?
When he was just doing college football and whatever, like I used to like
wasn't
him.
it wrestling?
Well, he might have done. He
Okay.
did boxing, I think. I never
Boxing,
I didn't
okay.
watch his boxing, but when he'd do Saturday night college football, I thought he was pretty good.
What happened? What
I don't
changed?
know. I have no idea.
What changed?
But he's just so over the top.
What is that? What it is?
You know who else I can't stand anymore? And it's actually been for quite a while. Gus Johnson.
Well,
Please.
nothing has changed with him. He's just doing different things now.
Ugh.
What was he doing? Which college game?
He did
Put
Ohio
your-
State, Michigan.
Yeah.
And in the pregame, he's doing J.K. Dobbins. Like, enough. Please. Please, enough with this.
Did you see? I don't know if you caught it. Was it? I think it was the Ohio State. I don't know where it was on, but it must have been on one of the Big Ten or like the CBS Extra, one of those channels. Because it was. I don't think it was the ESPN broadcast, right? No, it would have been Fox.
Well, they did Fox. That's the Fox noon game.
Maybe it was the Fox broadcast, but they awkwardly threw in the whole thing about Terrell Pryor. Do you see that? The fact that he got stabbed multiple times.
I was watching Game Day, College Game
Okay.
Day. I don't watch the Fox pregame for the college.
I for some reason I thought it wasn't the actual Fox pregame, but it might have been. Whoever it was just a very awkward stare to the camera and oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Pryor stabbed and we wish you all the best. It was like, dude, at that point you may not even want to. If that's all you're going to give me,
Right.
you may not want to even mention
No,
it.
I mean ESPN, Reese Davis and that crew did a much better job. It sounds because they did it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, why don't you go text with your buddies here?
All right, I'm going to text Moshe right
Jesus.
now.
Unbelievable.
I'm going to ask him why he's not texting you. But anyway, he
Well,
he contributed, not Tom House. That was his contribution.
I'm out. I'm out on the yeah. Our contributions are not welcome, neither are theirs. Somebody has to stand up for this show. Somebody has to grow a backbone on this thing. Josh works for the enemy, and you I'm not so sure about.
The backbone is you. Shut it.
Wow.
About what?
Did you hear that?
About what?
5,
Wow.
I'm here.
3, 2, 1.
Lambo next.
Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse is located on the second floor of the historic Provident Bank Building in the heart of Philadelphia.
Come on.
Rittenhouse. At Davio's, it's all about the guest. Davio's offers private
Come on.
dining rooms available for large and small
Enough.
groups, gracious hospitality, and an attendant dining room.
The scenario still exists where the Cowboys can win the NFC East with a 6-10 record. You see that?
No.
That's from Kemsky.
That means they could lose out. Yeah, they're 6-6.
South Jersey wants to know if you have sticking doors and windows.
He said it was an accident. He thought he said it to the both of us. So they lose. Yeah, they lose to the Bears, the Giants, the Redskins, and the Eagles. So they're 6-10. How is that even possible? Because that would mean the Eagles.
Cowboys are 6-6.
The Eagles would be 6-10 as well in that case, right? Because they would beat the Dallas Cowboys to get the 6th win, but they'd lose the other games.
How? I don't know. I don't get that.
Go to injuredworkers.com from Malamut and Associates. Nobody plans to get injured. When it happens, you need injuredworkers.com.
I thought I had the audio from Sam.
Injuredworkers.com. Go to injuredworkers.com right now.
This football season, visit the Great
Tell me, man.
American Pub, where you'll find good food,
I'm not
great
getting
times,
shit on
and
these
good
things.
football. Any way you like it. It'll come
Like,
together
a
at
lot
the
of my
Great American
tweets,
Pub.
just
Catch
the
game
impressions
at
are
any of the
down.
Great American Pub locations in Conshohocken, Wayne,
Amazing.
and Phoenixville. Go to thegreatamericanpub.com. The Great American Pub, where good food, great times, and good football mean your weekends are covered from start to finish. The Great American Pub, the preferred location of the Mays and Aton Show. Make your next game out at the Great American Pub.
Elm Update with Robin Stola, brought to you by the Wound Care Clinic of South Jersey and Jersey Shore Medical Alliance.
Big announcement from Georgetown.
They had two guys. They had two guys arrested, I think, for assault and burglary, and then they had another guy or two guys that they kicked off the team that are now in the transfer portal. The whole program's coming undone.
Who's the coach now?
Patrick Ewing.
Is it still Ewing?
Yeah.
I thought he was bounced after like a year.
It also helps with rapid recovery and with other techniques as cardiac pain management, vitamins, proper pain control. It becomes a game changer.
Thanks so much, Dr. Fabio Orozco, Rothman Orthopedics. I'm Robin Stola for Health Update.
Brought to you by the Wound Care Clinic of South Jersey, expert care with a compassionate touch, and Jersey Shore Medical Alliance Sports Medicine and Aesthetics.
A new law helps survivors of childhood sexual abuse take legal action. Jeff Anderson and Associates and attorney Greg Gianfrocaro can help. Visit itstimενewjersey.com or call confidentially today 1-800-ITS-TIME. 80 South Main Street, Phillipsburg, New Jersey 08865.
Audible for Autism is a non-profit organization serving the autistic community of Philadelphia and the Delaware Valley.
It is our pleasure and honor to partner with Audible for Autism and their fantastic program.
Join them every football season as they team up with some of the area's best football programs, including Rush Horsey and the Philadelphia Soul.
I'm gonna get down there and get my team all fired up.
I hate this thing. It's bad.
Jersey to get this crowd fired up.
I am so done with Jaws.
Yeah.
Like, it's so over.
Life-changing and unforgettable experience.
Nahagan just used him non-stop during those football seasons. I just got tired of him.
Why? Just like you just couldn't get anybody else, you think? Or?
Yes.
Huh?
I guess.
Changing children's lives, one touchdown at a time. AudibleForAutism.org.
Indeed presents this 97.3.
The radio home of Carson Wentz, Carter Hart, and Joel Embiid. 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJHD, Millville, Atlantic City. The Jacob Media Sports Network, in partnership with 97.3 ESPN, brings you the Mays and Aton Show. Middays with Harry Mays and Aton
Dude.
Shander. Now, it's the Midday Show with Harry Mays and Aton Shander on 97.3 ESPN Radio.
Well, we are live for our second hour. It begins on a Tuesday, of course, with Matt Lombardo. Matt Lombardo is all things New York Giants and NFL for NewJersey.com platform, NJ.com.
Yeah, and he's actually going to join. He normally joins us at this time, Tuesdays at 1. But next week, since the Giants play the Eagles on Monday Night Football, we're going to have him on Monday at
Okay.
1 o'clock
No.
prior to the game. So that's a programming note.
Awesome.
All right?
Now, I love that because we're going to get some insight into what we can expect that game. So we're going to get a double dose of Lombardo before the next Giants game?
Yes, you can't handle a double dose of Lombo.
Are you going to be live at the game Monday night?
Of course you will.
Well, yes, but in a new suit.
It will be a new suit for those people who have followed me during my career in Philadelphia, Aton. A suit I've worn a couple of times this year, the one that was not in the wardrobe 2 years ago when I left the beat. So you can keep your eyes peeled for that, of course.
All right, now will there be a fresh tie and shirt combo with this suit that you've worn before? Or?
Of course, Harry.
Yeah.
You be honest with you guys, one of the reasons why the suit post gets posted every week isn't just to, show off the flashy suit game. It's also as a reminder where I'm going through the time tour not to pick out the one that might have been worn in week 4 or week 5 in week 12 or 13.
Wow. There's a lot that goes into this, man. I'm telling you. I'll tell you, more goes into his suit game than the Eagles' offensive game plan.
I am amazed. I am really amazed at that. Seriously, yeah, you really could, like, the attention and dedication you put into your suit game is already above what Mike Rowe puts in on a weekly basis on this offense. You realize that, right?
Well, that or Jim Schwartz's defensive abilities we saw in Miami with that swinging gate play.
Yeah.
If you're Doug Peterson, guys, this certainly, you look at Doug Peterson and you look at Pat Shermer, 2 Andy Reid disciples, right?
Yeah.
I don't think their clock management philosophies could be any more different. You look at Pat Shermer, who every week, like clockwork, you can set your watch to it. At 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, if the Giants are trailing, he'll start burning through whatever timeouts he has remaining in the second half, whether that's 2 timeouts or all 3, leaving himself none to work with after the 2-minute warning. True story, it's happened 2 of the last 3 weeks. Then you look at Doug Peterson, who has a timeout sitting in his back pocket, and he doesn't use it along the goal line when Miami runs out in a swinging gate formation. And it just goes to show you that these head coaches, it's almost like they can't coach their way out of different situations that they find themselves in habits that they stick to. But if you're Doug Peterson, I don't know how, when Miami runs out in that formation, that you don't at least call a timeout to prepare for it or force them to kick the field goal because you're going to try to counteract what they originally lined up trying to do.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Follow Matt Lombardo on Twitter at Matt Lombardo NFL, and that's one of the questions I had for you. What trick play will Shermer and the gang cook up for this week to keep this streak going at 4?
Yeah, guys, Josh just brought this up to me before I came on the air. You were going to ask me this, and the thought popped right in my head. Saquon Barkley, during his time at Penn State in practice, would compete against the quarterbacks in some of the drills they would do just for fun before or after the workouts. I have a sneaky suspicion that you're going to see a halfback toss in the backfield and a Saquon Barkley throw deep either to Sterling Shepard or Darius Slayton on the 9 route. So if you see Saquon kind of hesitate behind the line of scrimmage, don't be shocked if someone's breaking free if he airs it out similarly to what we saw in Carolina last year when Odell Beckham Jr. took a flanker screen pass and aired it out to Saquon. I think we'll see a similar play call but in reverse against the Eagles on Monday.
So there's no truth to the rumor that they're working on running the Philly special with Eli Manning? Well, wouldn't that be the whole ruse of it all? Is that nobody in the world would expect you to throw Eli Manning?
Sure, but I do remember last year in the fourth quarter, again, it was Giants-Bears, and the Bears lined up for a 2-point conversion, and I said to Pat Leonard and Ryan Dunleavy and Steve Pulley, who were sitting near me in the trench stars, I said, watch this, you're about to get the Chicago special. And sure enough, the Philly special was run right here, and right in that spot. So when it comes to Giants trick plays, I kind of have a feel for when these things might go down. So I'm kind of excited to see what Pat Shermer has up his sleeve, if anything, on Monday.
Well, now that the Redskins
I think Patrick Shermer wore sleeves. Thought he was more like a short sleeve guy, like Dwight Schrute.
That's Harry's boy, Matt Rule, with the
yeah.
down there.
Now I lost my train of
I'm
thought.
sorry.
But anyway, now that
That's
the
my
Redskins have won their 3rd game, they are out of the cellar. The tie in the cellar with the Giants. Giants own that all to themselves. What is there left to play for? Like what is that motivational speech involve if you're on the coaching staff for the Giants going forward for the rest of the season?
I don't know. I mean, you listen to Pat Shermer in his press conferences. You watch some of those videos that we see behind the scenes in the locker room celebrating wins. I got to be honest, guys. I'm not sure that motivational speeches are in Shermer's repertoire. I'm not sure how much they work. Listen, I talk to players all the time about this on and off the record, and they tell me that they still believe in Pat Shermer. They believe in the scheme. There's nobody rolling over on him. But I don't think he's really a rah-rah guy in that room. I think more importantly, they have to figure out the dysfunction on both sides of the ball. Brian Baldinger I spoke to him for a story I'm working on tomorrow, and he just stressed, it couldn't stress enough, the dysfunction along the Giants' offensive line, and then you watch the defense, and, head defensive coordinator James Bettcher probably going to be the scapegoat if Pat Shurmur is not fired, which I think Shurmur's fate has already been sealed, but if he survives, I think that they make Bettcher a scapegoat on Black Monday. You just watch that secondary, and whether it's Greg Haley or Corey Ballantyne in the slot, Andre Baker or Sam Beal outside, whoever's out there on the field, not named Janoris Jenkins, quarterbacks are just targeting, and they're going after all day long. It wouldn't surprise me on Monday after we saw Carson Wentz struggle in recent weeks, made a nice game in Miami. I could see 350 yards plus and 3 touchdowns from Wentz against the secondary just because the talent isn't there, the scheme doesn't seem to be working, and they're just getting beat time after time. So I don't think there's rah-rah speeches. I think there need to be schematic adjustments, but I just still think the Giants have the talent right now to turn this thing around. And I'm looking at the possibility, guys, that they lose both to Miami and to Washington and wind up with the number 2 pick.
Wow. The Bengals got a win over the Jets, so who knows? Maybe they go on a little run, and the Giants end up with the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, that would be kind of extreme, but I'll say this. If Pat loses to the Dolphins, and that would be, I believe, the 10th straight loss for this team, which would surpass the previous franchise record, which was 9 straight games in a single season, I don't think he's a head coach when they play the Dolphins in 15.
Well, they've lost 8 in a row now, I believe, right?
Yes.
And no team, I learned this on Lombardo's Twitter, Eitan, no team has won fewer games than the Giants since the start of the 2017 season. The number is 10. So
10
that's
in 3 years.
That's 3 seasons of absolute just
and it might
abysmal
be
football.
At most, it might be 12.
Yeah, at most. That's pretty incredible, Lombo.
You got to fire that guy right now.
And GM Dave Gettleman, since he was hired, the Giants are just 7-21. So as I kind of laid out on Monday, they've become the laughing stock of the NFL. They're basically what the Browns were before they started to figure it out over the last couple seasons. But yeah, I just don't know how you can move forward with Pat Shurmur and General Manager Dave Gettleman into another year, especially when you look at the draft class. I mean, we can all talk about Saquon Barkley not being fully healthy, but he hasn't been the same player he was a year ago.
No.
Because Will Hernandez, who they drafted in the second round, has regressed significantly, especially as a pass blocker. And you look at the draft class, Lorenzo Carter, they had big hopes for him. He turned out just to be a guy, a rotational pass rusher. If you flip a third-round pick for the opportunity to re-sign Leonard Williams in a trade with the Jets at the trade deadline, you're just giving away draft capital, not evaluating, talent at a high hit rate. And it's easy to see how the talent has drained from this roster. I'll go one step further for you guys. Going back to 2015, and we all know that it takes 3 years for a draft class to really reveal itself and hit its stride. Jerry Reese was the Giants GM at that time. In the 2015 draft, they have no players remaining on the roster.
Wow.
3 years later. So there's been a talent drain for years, and it's going to take several seasons for the Giants to dig themselves out of this hole, I believe.
Well, I think, let me ask you this, just based off what we were talking about earlier, because I was going to go down the road in which you were just answering that, but I am curious. Does anybody even talk to Eli Manning anymore? Like, as far as me, like, do you even go up and say anything to him anymore?
Reporters,
Yeah.
just leave him alone.
Seriously, is he just like the guy in the corner of the locker room that you don't talk to?
They ghost him.
Yeah, exactly.
He hasn't been in the locker room, but
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right, because he's hurt.
Yeah, right. He's not hurt, but he's just a backup quarterback. And at the one time I did see him, he came in to grab his iPad out of his locker and then scurried back into the hallway towards the meeting rooms. And someone cracked the joke that he was just grabbing the iPad so he could watch Disney Plus in the quarterback meeting.
Oh.
I can't confirm or deny that, but he's not been around. And he's the first person out of the room after games, and the last one, you don't really see him during the week. So you don't really get a sense of how he's handled all
It's amazing.
what's going through his mind. But Daniel Jones has an ankle injury, guys. We'll find out tomorrow just how serious that is. Pat Shurmur said that it's just general game soreness, but there's been several times this year where Pat Shurmur said an injury is game soreness, and the guy winds up on injured reserve. So we'll know tomorrow about Daniel Jones' status if he's practicing. If he's not, you might see you on Monday.
Wow.
Monday night. I'd say there's a very slim chance he's not practicing tomorrow and he's not out there on Thursday, then you might see Eli on Monday night.
When are they going to shut Barkley down?
They're not.
Yeah, they're not going to do it. And to be fair, he played a lot better against the Packers. Had 83 rushing yards and I think something like 27 yards through the air.
Yeah, but isn't this meaningless? Like, when in 2 years from now, if you're trying to compete and you look back at the tread on the tires of this young man, isn't this like the time in which you can kind of cut your losses?
Preserve him a little bit?
Yeah, what the hell are you playing for?
Ethan, I totally agree, and I wrote the same thing after the Monday.
Yeah, where do you think I got that point?
There you go. I appreciate you reading NJ.com/Giants, but yeah, and you look at the injuries, he didn't seem fully healthy in that game against the Jets. Certainly had some lingering effects, and I'm with you. The point is, the miles on the tires and the tread and the lifespan of running backs, there's no reason to just, especially if you're going to use him as a battering ram up the middle, and not get him free in open space in the passing game or scheme him to bounce outside where you're not taking those hits. There's not a whole lot of reason or rationale behind playing him other than Pat Shermer's coaching for his job, and Saquon Barkley's the type of player who you talk to him, and he said last week that the last thing he would want to do, he's the type of kid who's going to want to play through this and be out there with his teammates.
Yeah, we get it. He went to Penn State. He's got a huge heart. We understand. Okay, come on.
He's a Lehigh Valley.
Come on, Lambo. We understand that.
Sometimes, perseverance is better than valor. What's that saying that, brilliance is the better part of valor? Maybe he needs to be brilliant and sit it out, but I don't think that's going to happen.
All right. What did you make of the interesting comments yesterday from Doug Peterson regarding that which team wanted it more in the game against Miami? Did you find that kind of eye-opening?
I found that eye-opening, as did the fact that after the Dolphins completed that trick play, I think it was Christian Wilkins basically looked at the Eagles huddle and kind of laughed at them on his way off the sideline. That's interesting to me. A team that was built to lose around Brian Flores, the head coach. I think that his players are really responding to him and seem to respect him. But if you're the Eagles and your team's in the thick of the NFC East race and you saw the Cowboys lose to the Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving, you come out and give that kind of effort, your head coach doesn't think you were ready to play, boy, that's a damning indictment on not only the players but also on Peterson for not having his guys up.
Well, I mean, the effort was pretty good, 28-14. It was after that things really went awry, but I found it pretty interesting that the head coach would actually say that, after such a big loss.
And I haven't been in that room. Obviously, I still keep in touch with a couple guys on the roster. And the vibe, from what I hear from our Eagles reporters, Mike Kay and Zach Rosenblatt, just friends I have on the beat, that it just seems different this year, and certainly a lot different in terms of the mentality of this team, the makeup of this team, compared to the one that made the Super Bowl. And you kind of have to wonder, okay, was 2017 just lightning in the bottle, or had the Eagles, just in terms of some of the misses by Howie Roseman, both in the draft and free agency, not been able to keep that talent pool and that chemistry at a level where you can compete year in and year out. But I'll say this, if the Eagles miss the playoffs and the Cowboys wind up winning the division, I think there's significant fallout coming. I don't think that the Eagles would fire Doug Peterson, but it wouldn't surprise me if Howie Roseman forces him to fire both coordinators and you see a total shakeup going into 2020.
We had Rosenblatt on last week. He said he never heard of you.
Covering the Giants with me with Derek Slater out of paternity leave, so I don't know what he's talking about.
But Lombo's got his 7-round mock draft.
I can't wait.
For the Giants only.
Yes.
He didn't do every team.
Wait,
he
now,
just did the Giants.
How do you get to round 6 and not know who's been taken? Like, don't you have to go through every team at some point to get a good idea of who they're going to take deeper in the draft?
Well, yeah, the first couple of rounds I'll do myself, and then I'll run through one of those, the Draft Network simulators.
Simulator, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, one of those simulators, and then pick from the pool there, so you kind of have a feeling for, who's going to go where, and you can kind of slot your pick based on team needs.
All right, so I have a question for you. The Seattle Seahawks are getting praised for their new edition touchdown celebration that they did last night. It was pretty well choreographed.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I have to give them some credit for that. When's the last time and what was it that you've seen anything like that from the New York Giants with a choreographed touchdown celebration?
that.
Nothing. No creativity, no trick plays, no touchdown choreograph.
And you have to score first. This team is averaging 19 points per game. That's not exactly, other than defensive players sprinting to the end zone to take a team photo, which I think is tired and played out across the league.
Well, sure.
Not much creativity or ingenuity.
Are you telling me that you've never seen Eli Manning do that Dak dance, even in warm-ups?
Every day in practice.
Does he really do that?
No.
It's not the hips, but he's got this very unique arm motion that he walks back and forth, swinging his arms almost like a touchdown signal back and forth. You see that on an almost daily occurrence of that.
I'm telling you, there's some weird stuff going on there, man.
It really is.
Weird stuff in
Maybe
that
you can
building.
draft that guy out of Old Miss that did the dog pee move on against Mississippi State. Yeah, right. Yep. And the coach lost his job.
Yeah, I know that. And Harry, you either were faked out or you were goading me to retweet the Mike Leach news.
No, I was faked out. That serves me right for trying to tweet during the show because I wasn't really paying full attention, and I just saw that come across, and it's because basically I would love to see Mike Leach in the SEC West. I don't care if it's at Arkansas or at Ole Miss, it would be great. And then whatever job he doesn't take, you get Lane Kiffin to take the other one. I mean, I'm telling you, that's a reality show. All right, Lombo. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Make it happen, he says. Yeah, where's Penn State going to go? Rose Bowl against Oregon again? Is that where you think?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Against Oregon or Utah after Ohio State, take care of business against Bucky on Saturday.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a walkover.
My God.
But
now, who would you rather be right now? Penn State or Michigan?
In terms of
everything.
Programs
Recruiting class, head coach, confidence in the next quarterback to be, everything.
Yeah, it's Penn State because I think that their talent pool is just peaking, and the next 2020 will probably be the most talented roster that James Franklin opened the season with, assuming he's still the head coach. And I think there's all kinds of questions about whether Jim Harbaugh can win the big game. Yeah, they beat Penn State 2 years ago, and they beat them last year with injuries, and 2016 was an inexperienced team with injuries on both sides of the ball. But you have Penn State returning Sean Clifford next year. You have a freshman quarterback coming in Michigan. The Penn State defense will start 2 former 5-star inside linebackers, and I think the offensive line is going to be talented. And Pat Fryermuth is probably going to be a first-round pick in 2021.
yeah, no doubt.
I think that it's Penn State and Ohio State as the top 2 teams in the Big Ten. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State opens next year ranked 1 or 2 and Penn State is 5 or 6.
I got an interesting tweet on Michigan and Ohio State from that Paul Hembo up at ESPN, the stat guy. Very interesting. He says,
Hembo.
Yeah, Ohio State from 2016 to 2019 had 69 4- and 5-star recruits. They had 18 first and second round draft picks in the NFL. Michigan, on the other hand, during the same time period, had 71 4- and 5-star recruits.
Wow.
So that's 2 more than Ohio State.
That's right.
But their first and second round draft picks, only 4.
That's it?
So the whole deal is, their problem isn't recruiting the kids, it's developing the kids.
Yep.
It's pretty interesting.
And remember, next year, Penn State gets Ohio State and Michigan State at Beaver Stadium.
You think that matters?
I think Michigan has to go to the shoe.
Okay, Michigan aside, you really think that matters at where you play Ohio State? At this point? I think the gap is too wide. All right.
Well, they lost by 11 this year, and the previous year, the 3 matchups were decided
By a couple of
Well, I
points.
know,
yeah.
but it's different. I wouldn't look at the last 3 previous years as compared to this year. If you want to base it on this year and say that you played a team well, the Ohio State team this year is light years better than what they were when Penn State played them the previous 2.
Well, I get it. And Penn State they had the closest margin of victory of any team they've played all season on the road, right? So I think when you get them at Beaver Stadium with an improved roster for Penn State, I don't know that they beat.
Well, you don't think Ohio State improves? They got a Chase Young clone sitting right there as a freshman. You just never heard of him.
Oh no, Chase Young was behind Nick Bosa, right?
Yeah.
He was behind Joey Bosa. It's a different level up there, but for whatever reason, if you get Ohio State in the whiteout,
Uh-oh, the whiteout.
to beat them,
Ah, jeez.
I think they give them a go.
Would you take James Franklin for the New York Giants?
The record in the whiteout is not that good, Lama. They're like 500 or
Really?
something. Yeah.
Oh.
You can't be rolling out whiteout.
Mm.
All right. Lambo's great. He's going to join us again
Thanks,
next
Lambo.
Monday, but he's brought to you by Gentleman Golfers Supply Company. Represent your love of the gentleman's game on or off the course with Gentleman Golfers Supply Company's extensive line of streetwear and golf apparel. Visit ggsupplyco.com. It is on the Lighthouse Insurance guest line.
You want to tell people about that, right?
They know the deal.
Okay. BuryTheHatchet.com, where you should be going to our league. Sign up. Go to your local location. If it's Cherry Hill, if it's Tom's River, if you're over the bridge, listening on the app, that's fine, or watching on the stream. BuryTheHatchet.com. Use our promo code Harry50. We've got some amazing prizes for the people who win this league. We also have the opportunity for you to throw half off any of the local locations you want to go to. Cherry Hill, Tom's River, over the bridge in PA. We're going to be in South Philadelphia noon to 2 on Thursday. So if you're around, even if you're over the bridge, Cherry Hill, Gloucester County, that area, hop over. It's an easy skip over either of the bridges. And we'll be hanging out there in South Philly from noon to 2 with some Sixers, Eagles tickets as well. We got a bunch of stuff for you. But the big thing is go to BuryTheHatchet.com and use our promo code Harry50.
You're listening to the Mays and Aton Show. Presented by
This guy's tweet. Big Mike McDee's tweet.
What did he say?
You mentioned PSU to Lombo, and I can almost hear that Widow's Peak extended.
Oh, my God, he's right. He gets so amped up.
That's great.
Whiteout. The record is not very good in the whiteout.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah.
Chris Carlin, the voice of Rutgers football, with some insight on the Greg Schiano hire. Who's in, who's out, and it's a Tuesday with Thompson at 5:15.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's sports leader.
Are you tired
Yeah,
of the
Penn
same old,
State.
same old, looking for an exciting new experience? Come join our friends at Bury the Hatchet.
I think they're 6-6 now in whiteout games.
Axe throwing. Feel the thrill of axe throwing and compete against your friends and family in one of our 14
This was before they hosted Michigan in a whiteout, which they won the game 28-21. And it says that their record is 5-6 in those games.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah.
Winter leagues are forming now, as well as our special Mays and Aton League for all you
Yeah,
listeners.
Penn State holds a 5-6 record when the full stadium wears white, including 2-1 record against Michigan. Okay, well then they've beaten Michigan 3 times out of 4.
And King of Prussia. Use our promo code Harry50 for 50% off. Your first 2 hours will be 50% off. Just use our promo code Harry50. Bury the Hatchet. Go to burythehatchet.com.
Welcome to 2 Street and welcome to Tollman Joe's.
I didn't realize it was that bad. Oh, shit.
Is Tony Bruno's home on Eagles game day, and yours
I got all the games right here.
free parking
Since
every
04.
Eagles game day. Get to Tollman Joe's 3 hours before kickoff, 26 East Oregon Avenue. Hi, this is Tony Bruno. I'll see you on game day at Tollman Joe's.
Covering Philadelphia and the suburbs with a tremendous history of great success in the real estate market, meet Kristen Thompson. A proud graduate of Villanova, Kristen has been in the real estate business for 20 years and specializes in buyers, sellers, and investors. You can call Kristen directly at the Keller Williams Realty Group, 215-429-2451, 215-429-2451. Kristen Thompson, your real estate advocate, who will work tirelessly on your behalf while ensuring the sale or the purchase is the easiest part of the process.
There are so many choices when it comes to selecting the right financial institution. Start with the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union.
When he puts his face right here, I know he's coming up. Like that's his precursor to coming up on your leg.
He went to the vet today. He's 82 pounds, man.
Yeah, he's gained some weight.
Yeah, because he lost weight when he got sick. So I had, when I, the very first day that I got him, he was like 80, was about 80 pounds. He came to me 80 pounds, so I had to get him back up. But he's still, like, he's in great shape.
Eagles game day. So don't just celebrate the Eagles from the sidelines. Head to Dunkin' and get a kick before the
so
kickoff.
glad that
Plus, DD Perks
every time I go on LinkedIn, I don't see that attorney dude's posts. He used to be the first post I'd see every day.
Like, mute him?
No, I don't know what happened to him, but it's that guy we had on one time.
Oh, yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was just saying, like, I didn't know if you did something to remove him, like, from your vision.
Let Lighthouse put together a comprehensive plan that is right for you for the right money. With 25 years of experience in the Philadelphia market, they know the most reputable.
Did you say that Chris Russell guy can't come on with us for some reason?
No, Intercom won't let him.
1686 or visit them online today.
Sucks, right?
He's on LinkedIn. I see his shit all the time.
He's a good dude, really good dude.
If you're a golfer looking to pick up a few strokes on the golf course, you should add these 4 words into your training and lifestyle. Traditional, Thai, yoga, massage. A Thai massage is relaxing and energizing without oil and designed to increase your flexibility. Try it now. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, including a better score. Call Asan Thai
I was listening to The Locker Room.
663
He's got mainline, like, it's not Focus Acura, but it's like mainline Mercedes or whatever it is on the main line. He's got a car dealership on the main line.
What locker room?
The Billy Schwein show.
Oh.
He's got a shitload of, like, smaller to medium sponsors, including the big one, which is like a main line. So I was thinking, if he's selling his own show at a low price point, then maybe he can help us and bring in some stuff for us, because we have such a low price point as well. If he could sell a remote for $1,500 a week, he can clear money.
I think you have unlimited data.
Well, he'd just be the salesperson on the
Yeah,
deal?
absolutely.
Well, his show would have to get something out of it.
So, fine, you get mentions on a Saturday show or something like that. That's fine.
Get 4 lines with unlimited data on the nation's best 4G LTE network with 1
Or have him come out and, and join us for a segment or something at the fucking, broadcast. I don't care.
Unlimited plans. Total wireless, total confidence. Available at Target.
I was going to call him, though, and see.
A new law helps survivors
See what he
and victims
thinks.
of sexual abuse take legal action. Jeff Anderson and Associates and attorney Greg Gianfrocaro can help. Visit itstimενewjersey.com or call confidentially today 1-800-ITS-TIME. 80 South Main Street, Phillipsburg, New Jersey 08865.
This is Joe Krause of Krause's Coats inviting you to donate a slightly worn coat or jacket to help kids in need stay. Go to Krause's Coats Facebook page. Happy holidays.
You're listening to Mays and Aton with Harry Mays and Aton Shander on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
I saw a tweet from Jason Martinez. It says he plans on being back here tomorrow. Is that accurate?
He's going to join the show tomorrow.
Okay, good, because normally we have a jersey on our guest seat unless we actually have a guest.
Okay.
And I was going to put the jersey back up. In fact, I have a new one to put up in place of the McNabb Pro Bowl one. A lot of people think that's a Cowboys jersey.
You should probably have like a Flyers sweater or something on there.
Nah, I want to keep the Eagle. As you've noticed, there is a consistent theme here.
Yeah, I know. Let's get it back to the Eagles.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now we even have a new TV. Look, I even put a TV that you could watch instead of listening to me.
Well, a lot of people, were up in arms yesterday with me because well, actually not with me, with us at first, because they say we should talk more hockey. In fact, it's JWS8596, John Shelton on Twitter, says we need more hockey talk on Mays and Aton show. And I quote tweeted it and I said, no, we don't.
That guy's lucky we're talking sports.
I included at Jason Mertz Twitter handle,
right.
And the thing blew up. And then, of course, Flyer fans, they're very protective
of Jason,
right. And of
think
the
about
sport itself, and I get it.
Is there a more underrepresented group of sports fans?
No, but I mean
in this region than the Philadelphia Flyers.
I think it's the same way in most of the United States hockey markets outside of Nashville, which is big, Detroit.
Although the Red Wings are one of the worst teams in the NHL.
No, I know, but they still talk Pittsburgh. They talk about it a lot. I'm told, and rightly so. But Like even in New York, Boomer Esiason
Yeah.
gets ripped if he dares mentions the Rangers. You know, something about the Rangers. They come at him, his co-hosts and all the
Good.
players.
You shouldn't be mentioning the Rangers.
Well, I know
Okay.
they
got 50 other
But I'm
teams.
saying they got 3 teams within a 6
Look.
mile radius, and they don't talk any hockey.
People that listen to the Fan would rather hear you talk about St. John's basketball than break down the Rangers
Or
Devils.
baseball, anything baseball.
That's
too.
definitely true.
Yeah.
Right there at the top.
Now-
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. But I mean, here we go. This is one of the responses I got to that tweet. At Sticks and Pucks says,
Oh, of course it's going to be negative. The damn account is Sticks and Pucks.
well, yeah, but he says it's amazing the amount of hockey hate on sports radio. Must be the chic thing to do rather than actually engage the audience who like the sport. Now, did you say it's hockey hate?
Yes.
It's not hockey hate. It's just not hockey discussion.
No, that's
I
the
don't
thing.
know you're
We're
hating on
avoiding it. Right.
Well, it's not that I'm avoiding it. And this is what I tried
Well,
to
no,
tell
it
the
is,
guy.
It is. It's not because out of hatred.
I told the guy, I said, I wouldn't know as I really don't listen to much local sports radio. All I know is the audience that you speak of is the smallest of all the main sports. So the amount of discussion is relative. And I pointed him towards the Stick to Hockey podcast, which you can get all your hockey stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, in other words, I think like with the advent of podcasts, it's perfect
That's
for a
where you
sport
get all
like
your hockey
hockey
stuff, right?
Isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. Especially in a situation like Sports Talk Radio where you're not going to get it as much. Like, you shouldn't be going to Sports Talk Radio for flyers first. You should be going to specific podcasts.
Exactly.
And to be fair, here's the thing. I'll appeal to that person specifically. Why would you want to hear somebody who never talks about something talk about that thing, as opposed to people who are seasoned and talk about it
And
routinely?
talk about it every day.
Exactly. So if I'm going to talk, or if I'm going to go listen to people talk about hockey,
Right.
it's going to be Mertitas Stick to Hockey. It's going to be Russ Joy, Ant Sanfilippo,
Right.
what they do on the Snow the Goalie. On
Right,
Crossing
that's a
Broad.
podcast on Crossing
Exactly
Broad.
right. Guys who cover this sport that talk about it every day, and you shouldn't come to me for hockey.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. It's like, I like professional golf. I don't expect it to be talked about on Sports Talk Radio, but if I want to hear it discussed, I'm going to go find it, at some other venue on my own time.
That's
right?
fair. PGA radio
Right,
network,
or
right,
whatever.
Sirius.
Or if I'm a hockey guy and I'm like, man, I'm not getting enough hockey, on
hockey.
Sports Talk Radio, I'll go to NHL Radio on Sirius or wherever. You
Right.
can go find this stuff.
There are plenty of, plenty. Especially this show in which we've kind of built it on what we've both wanted to do forever in this business is string together stuff that might be sports, that might be other things, and it just so happens to be that, we focus. So I bring that up because you're not getting even the proper amount of allotment on sports that you would for other sports talk shows,
Yeah.
where they just drill you over the head. I don't mean this channel, I'm saying like outside of that, where they drill you over the head with everything like a mallet.
And the Flyers, to their credit, had a tremendous month in November.
They did?
So, yes, they did.
No, I said they did.
Yeah,
like,
they did. So,
now-
it's starting to get towards that time, January, where I will pay attention to it. I don't pay attention much to hockey in October and November.
I don't think anybody.
And I'm up front about it.
I think that's.
I'm not
probably-
trying to mislead anybody.
No, I think that's fair.
Okay, but I knew the Flyers had a hell of a month in November, and their penalty kill.
Well, we'll talk to
is on the
Jason about
improve.
that, right?
Yes, we
Okay.
can talk about it. We'll
So
give
he'll-
him. What do we give it? A minute
Well, we'll give him a hockey minute.
or a segment?
All right. Why don't we do this? Why don't we build it up like it's this hockey segment, and we come back from like the 40 break, so it's at the end of the hour, and we build it up like the hockey segment's coming up next, and we could have Josh run like a timer, and maybe some music, some
Like the
NHL.
60 minutes.
Exactly. Right, exactly. Something like that. And we're like, all right, man, we'll give you the segment, go ahead. And then like 3 or 4 words into it,
We just cut it.
Josh
cut it off.
hits him with a big like,
No,
like a big
no,
buzzer.
that's not right.
No?
No. He's doing us a favor by coming over here and spending some time
I thought he'd
with
have
us,
fun with that.
You know?
You don't think so?
I offered him a hockey minute the last time we had him on, and he chose not to do it. He chose to rather impersonate somebody that hardly anybody knows. So
It's hot.
I'd rather have him do some hockey.
You can't. Yeah, I think that we'll probably move away from impersonations. And
Yes,
move
I hope
into-
so.
Well, maybe he can impersonate a hockey analyst.
Listen, I was the one trying to get it back to the Eagles. Think about that.
Well, I don't blame me.
I'm not
we
blaming
had
you.
this thing on tape. All right? Everything we do is... Everything we do is on tape.
Now, Big Mike McD.
This is a great
tweet.
I also have a ton of... We haven't hit the text board once yet.
You could tweet the show at Harry Mays TU, at Shander Show. Big Mike McD, who's at Eagle Eyes 317, says, "Man, you mentioned PSU to Lombo, and I can almost hear that Widow's Peak extending."
Yep.
Now that is the kind of Twitter action we want on this program. Okay?
I love that tweet.
That was phenomenal.
That you could hear him too through the phone.
Oh yeah,
Just getting
he's
amped
going
up.
whiteout. I'm
He
like,
is.
Lombo, you can't mention one. There's 6-6 in whiteout games. It's not like it's that big of a deal.
Oh man, was he ready to go at it?
Oh man,
ready to go at it, man. I tell you, that's what I love about it. Simply love about it. You really can't top that.
Phenomenal.
609-403-0973 at Harry Mays TU at Shander Show. Say get us on Twitter. There was something else too. It wasn't just the text board that I had. A lot of people responding to that Henbo, including asking. Well, I don't want to bring up somebody else there. There's it's everywhere. Like the text board is everywhere. So before I even get to this, I don't even know where to start here on the text board. Did you see this story about Cristiano Ronaldo?
No.
Okay, so apparently Monday night, there was this huge Serie A award ceremony. That's the league that he plays football in. So according to an Italian journalist, Ronaldo waited in his car until his name was called, only then coming inside to pick up and only pick up his MVP trophy.
Was he Namdi Asaba?
MVP trophy, Harry, okay? And then when he did emerge, all the bodyguards had the flashlights and they shine at the camera, at the paparazzi, so they got him in, they whisked him out, and that was it.
Well, he's Elvis. I mean, come on, man. The guy can't hang out with the common folk.
Is there anybody in this
He's
country...
got an orgy to go to.
I imagine he's got something much more important than this. Could anybody in this country get away with that? LeBron James couldn't get away with that.
No,
Tom Brady couldn't
he'd
get away
crushed.
with that. Nobody could get away with that here. Do you think Tom Brady could sit
No.
in his car with Giselle while the NFL is set to award him the MVP? And again, you have to talk about MVP because that's the award here.
Right. No, it would be like Joe Burrow getting ready to get the Heisman.
That's great.
But he's out in a car, in a limo outside of, Madison, or what do they do that anymore? They used to do it.
Radio City. I don't know if they do it
I don't know. But somewhere up in New York. Let's
Right?
say it's at Madison Square Garden, the theater.
Maybe it is in
there.
Radio City. I don't know.
And he's sitting out there in a limo with a couple of girls.
Yep.
And they're like, all right, Joe, you're up
Walkie-talkie.
in 5 minutes.
Yep.
So they send a guy. He walks in, gets the Heisman, takes a photo, and immediately goes back out to the limo to party.
That'd be amazing.
He would get crushed.
Nobody could survive that. You're damn right he'd get crushed. He would get lit up. There isn't any professional or collegiate athlete. Could a golfer get away doing that?
Tiger Woods?
Brooks Koepka. I mean, he's close
we
to it.
kind of expect
That's
it
what
from
I mean,
Brooks
though.
Koepka,
Wait
yeah.
a second. Hold on now. Brooks Koepka showed up like 10 minutes before he had to tee off and won an event, didn't he? Or came in third or something, right?
Well, no, I think that was the one down in Memphis that I went to, where he didn't even warm up. He just showed up and I think beat Rory.
Okay, I was that the same one where somebody took a picture and put it up on Instagram or Twitter of the parking spot and he wasn't there yet and people were like, dude, he's still not here.
I think that was the one.
It
Yeah.
shows up he
The
beat
St. Jude. Yeah.
Right. Yes, I think you're right. It was the St. Jude one. That would probably be it. I mean, can you imagine Brooks Koepka wins the Masters and they have this ceremony and here it is.
Well, they have the Champions Dinner the next year where you get to pick the menu, right? Koepka just sends in the menu, doesn't even show up.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. You guys catch Seattle, Minnesota last night. Nice to watch the game played at a high level, unlike Aguilar. That's L of L on the text board.
I tell you, when that Seattle team gets it going, they're pretty fun to watch.
They are.
I
didn't think that was going to happen big time in the second half like that. Dan from EHT, the Eagles need a motivation. Underdogs in last year with ski masks. What do you guys think it could be? Well, we brought that up.
Yeah.
Remember when Reed was head coach, he would give off his play calling to the OC at times. Maybe Peterson should see what Groh could do.
No, I don't know.
No, sir.
No.
Harry, I totally agree. Gus Johnson is horrible with OSU.
It's just too much. He can call a game.
Yeah.
But it's too much of his shtick for me.
No, I get it. Got to get the drop of Harry. I'm an Utz guy. Classic. Mike and Turner's.
I don't know how many times he had to mention that J.K. Dobbins is from LaGrange, Texas.
LaGrange!
I mean, every time the guy ran the ball, I'm getting LaGrange, Texas.
It
I
sounds like
suppose it just didn't play ZZ Top. You know?
Craig at LBI. Happened to just watch the Jim Mora playoff rant on YouTube. Wish Doug would have reacted like that. Watch it. It's perfect. That's not Doug, but that's what the fans feel at least.
Playoffs, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was spectacular.
Back after this. Almost ready, buddy. Yeah. Almost. It's almost time for you, right? You excited to go for a big walk? 3 fucking miles.
Another great tweet. Guy Cecil Church.
Yeah, it's great.
Did you see this? I'd love to hear the Hockey Minute segment, where 30 seconds of the segment is the intro and outro music, and the other 30 seconds is just drops.
Nobody cares about hockey.
Yeah.
Oh my, that would be amazing. Wait a minute, okay? Extension cord in here somewhere. I don't even know where to look.
All right, now you got to tell me. You're the Twitter expert.
What's up?
What is this? All these frauds coming.
Oh
away.
no! Hey Harry,
They
it's all fake.
Yeah. What is it? What's the goal?
It's to try to get you to go back and forth, and my guess would be to bring you to some website to sign up, like, or follow you on Snapchat or something like that. There's something that needs you to either sign up for something,
So they get information,
or add to some sort of count.
data.
Right, or it could just be like something. So this is what people do on Tinder is if they're getting paid to post on stuff like Instagram, like models, like
Yeah,
low
yeah,
level,
yeah.
then they'll say
Promoters,
follow
right.
my Instagram, follow my Instagram. The more followers they have, the easier it is to sell their account, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you get single guys who think they have a shot at you.
Right.
That's all that is. It's
Yeah.
a phishing scheme.
I get it all the time.
Yep, I do too. It's a phishing scam. It's all. No, it's terrible. And they come in waves if you notice, right?
Yeah.
What happened? Is the damn thing off?
The heater shut off.
No, this thing.
Review. Call Jimmy O'Brien directly at 215-354-0122. 215-354-0122. Your savings are a phone call away.
This football season, get to Screwball Sport Bar and Grill in King of Prussia. Voted one of the 10
I'll tell you, I think in the last couple weeks, our show has really picked up a lot of new people.
Think so?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
What makes you think? I don't disagree. What makes you think that?
Well, I think during the whole time when we had Jason on once or twice, brought a lot of people to it that weren't necessarily aware of it, and
That's true.
they've stuck. A lot of them have stuck with it.
Yeah, I saw that too, where somebody said like, "Hey, I've been listening more and more, but Wednesdays are like my favorite now."
Or lending a hand. At Independence Blue Cross, we've been doing our part too for the last
I haven't seen a pop culture poll question.
No?
No.
Should bring that up.
Because we believe there's caring.
Did you see that guy who tweeted like the bold tone?
Learn more at IBS.
Yeah.
Saying like, I started listening to these guys now because of you guys.
Yeah.
That's why I did that whole thing. I don't think Rothstein's the only guy I think that understood that.
What?
Like me blowing up on those guys. If I heard that and I'm on next,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna take time out of my show to blast you. I'm gonna play that on. You know what I mean? Like, it just keeps it going so that if somebody's listening just for us,
Yeah.
they're now gonna. Oh, what are these guys? Who? What are they gonna say? Something like that.
Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse is located on the second floor of the historic Provident Bank building in the heart of
Yeah, but see, he says that he hears those guys cite us.
Yeah, because it's like something quick. It's always something like, oh, they said this, and then that's it. Like they don't.
Like I heard Mosher the other day do one of those, not so and so.
Yeah.
And he mentions my name at the end of it, and then they all like laugh, and then they move on.
They just go right. Or that's why I said like you got to stop and you got to massage that sucker. You got to give me 7 minutes.
Get deals for days at our Cyber Day sale. Shop in store or online for 25% off select Nike activewear and shoes. And multi-piece bedding sets for up to 60% off. Or save an extra 25% any way you pay with coupon. Find it in your wallet. JCPenney. Coupon and offers valid from 1 to 12 4. Nike excluded from coupon. Exclusion applies. See jcp.com for coupon and details. So you think you have unlimited data?
Recalculating.
See what today yields. Lakers Nuggets, man.
Your data is limited, and so are you. Set your smartphone 30 seconds. Unlimited total wireless. Get 4 lines with unlimited data on 4G LTE.
Oh, he's been here the whole time, man.
He stinks too.
He's just getting cranked up.
Get the new unlimited plans. Total wireless, total confidence. Available at Best Buy. See terms and conditions at
How much time we got?
This is Joe Krause of Krause's Coats inviting you to donate a
Is this it?
coat or jacket and help veterans in need stay warm this winter. Go to Krause's Coats on Facebook and join Martin Law, the law firm for veterans, to help those who serve. Have a happy holiday.
Henbo.
This is Mays and Aton.
Somebody tweeted about Henbo.
Mays and Aton Shander.
It's a good tweet.
That's what Gargano calls a female chicken.
Female what?
Chicken.
Oh.
It's a Henbo. Now, who's this guy? A lot of people responding to Hen. Is it Hem?
Hembo, H-E-M. Hembekitis, I think
Okay.
is his last name. Yeah. Works at ESPN. I think he's actually from this area.
Really?
Originally. I think so.
Okay.
I'm not positive. But I'm looking here at 97.3 ESPN's Twitter feed. At 973 ESPN. They put a poll question up. After the loss to the Dolphins. The Eagles are 5-7 after the loss. If they win out, they would win the NFC East. Would you rather? And the two choices are win the division and go to the playoffs. Lose out, go 5-11 and get a better draft pick. This is similar to what we discussed at the beginning of the show. Do you know what the results are of the poll? I have them in front of me.
I'm going to guess that 60% say they want to lose out.
Close, 62.
Want to lose out.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's where I don't understand how we've moved from one extreme to the other.
I mean,
which is it's okay to lose a game to the Dolphins to now it's okay to lose out.
Well, I think that was the breaking point. The losing to the Dolphins is people are broken.
Yeah, but my point of it is that when they say it's okay, it's two different people making two different points, and they're both extremes just on opposite end. When I say it's okay to lose to the Dolphins, I'm talking about the people that said, don't worry, the season's still alive, you have nothing to be upset about, they're going to win out. We've gone from that extreme to now, don't worry, you've got nothing to feel good about, they should lose out.
Yeah.
Like, how do we go from Monday to, oh, don't worry, it's okay, the sun will come up tomorrow, to, oh my God, we've got 30 days of night now coming in front of us.
Yeah, and based on what they've typically done in the draft, it's hit and miss. What is, drafting a couple slots higher really going to do? You know what I mean?
Nothing for me.
Really?
I'd rather have Carson Wentz. I heard this stat before. I think Jeff George is the only guy in the history of the NFL, Harry, to win a Super Bowl or make it to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he didn't win a Super Bowl.
Right, make it to a Super Bowl, right?
Who was he with?
Without playing in the playoffs previously.
Was he with Atlanta when they won?
I thought so.
Those years?
I thought he was, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I heard that stat. I don't think you can honestly say that there's anything in the NFL's history that you're just going to come in and win one without at least playing in the playoffs before, right? We saw Nick Foles even, right?
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, now Foles has been benched for the rest of the season. And I saw Dan Graziano, I believe, was on one of those ESPN football shows, NFL Live or something yesterday, and said that if they cut him, their they'd have $34 million in dead money. If they traded him, it's $19 million in dead money to move him. So I don't know what they're going to do, but do they put Minshew in here for the final couple weeks to showcase him, to trade him, or are they planning on Minshew being the guy and we're just going to keep running with him and we're going to try to figure out a way to trade Nick Foles?
I don't know. How do you get around that?
Would Frank Reich pull the trigger on a Nick Foles trade and bring him to Indianapolis?
I think that I don't think they've got a true, honest read on Jacoby Brissett this year because of just who's not around it.
T.Y. Hilton has been hurt.
Yeah,
off and
Marlon
on.
Mack's been down too.
Yeah.
I think they like Jacoby Brissett, but I don't think that. Honestly, does Nick Foles? He's not an upgrade. I think if you're Frank Reich, your first priority right now is to say, can I bring in anybody that's better than Jacoby Brissett, right? And if Jacoby Brissett returns to a backup role, you're probably better off in that regard than you are by having Brissett as your starter and Foles as your backup, no?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what Jacksonville would do. I mean, because chances are they fire the coach, right?
Yes. I would think so. Marone?
Yeah, probably.
I would think so. What would you fall back on?
They got DiFilippo as the offensive coordinator.
So that's probably the move. Is you look at DiFilippo, see how much demand he's in. I don't know, mate. You think they bump him up?
I have no idea. No idea.
From the OC?
All I know is that offense.
Or do you think they blow him out?
Fit. He might get a job.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing. If look, we're focusing on the wrong person. Okay, idiots, are going to look at Nick Foles who gets cut or whatever they get around that money that they owe him, and they're going to say, "Bring Foles back! Bring Foles back!"
Not here.
You idiots!
No.
Look,
that's not what I'm saying.
Not you. If John DiFilippo was on the open market, then I am doing everything I can to bring him back to Philadelphia.
Yeah, but that's if he doesn't get a head coaching job.
I don't know if he will. That offense is putrid with both quarterbacks.
I know. Oh, and Josh points out Jeff George never played in the Super Bowl.
So what's the stat?
I know he never played. I don't know if he was on a team that played. I don't know, but I don't remember him ever being associated.
Well, it was on this network.
He was?
One of those shows before us mentioned it about Jeff George and playing in the Super Bowl. Or not.
He might have carried a clipboard or something.
Maybe making it, I don't know, something about...
None of them.
Well,
okay.
We got to hold one of those shows before us accountable.
Well, what are you talking? Levitard?
I don't know. That or... I can't imagine I was listening to the other one. Maybe it was Levitard.
It might have been Levitard.
Right?
Yeah, probably. All right.
I can't...
Jason Martinez joins us tomorrow's show.
We're locked in.
Locked in.
To Jason Martinez. Will there be a hockey moment?
Hockey minute?
I'm saying
I'm all for it.
A hockey moment?
I'm all for it.
We're locked in.
Let's do it.
So is Tony healthy or what?
Tony Bruno?
Yeah.
All right. What, do you want to do that too?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Stop this thing.
Ready when you are.
Okay.